One of the real benefits of having hybrid golf clubs or utility clubs in your bag is the sheer versatility that these offer you over and above a long iron. Troublesome long irons are often difficult to hit, but hybrid clubs are very versatile. In fact, a lot of people call them utility clubs because they do so many different jobs. So we're going to start off looking at a long chip shot here. So a long chip shot would be sort of a bump and run. Not necessarily very high because I don't have a great deal of loft on my 5 hybrid as I have here, but it's going to be a long chip shot. I play it around about the centre of my stance. I grip down on the golf club. That's quite a crucial part of this. I get quite near to the ball because of my grip, and I can have a narrow stance. From there it's like a long putting stroke. Just a long backwards and forwards putting stroke. And you've got to question, when was the last time you fatted or thinned a putter? Very rarely would that ever happen. So if I use a long putting stroke here, it should guarantee that I'm going to get a decent contact on the ball. I'll pick out a landing area just on the fringe of the green with a bit of grass that I can run the ball through to get it up to the flag at the back of the green, and then that's a long chip shot there, just back and through, almost with a putting stroke that runs up. Another shot that's quite useful for you to play with a hybrid golf club is actually just chasing the ball forwards out of trouble, sort of punching it out of trouble, particularly if you've got yourself in the trees and you need to get a ball that comes out quite low. So normally in trouble we'd say, well, take more loft, that's safer. But if more loft is going to hit the ball high into the branches, and I don't want that, I need something low that chases the ball forwards. So again, I take my 5 hybrid. This time I play it quite a long way back in my stance. I have the handle quite a long way forwards towards my front leg, and I hit down quite firmly and quite steeply on the back of the ball. This thing comes out like a bullet, really low, and runs quite a long way. Very useful shot here. So I play it back in my stance, hands well ahead, and nudge it out forwards, a very punchy stroke. That's gone comfortably 130 yards and hasn't really gone above head height. One other very useful shot here is going to be playing out of fairway bunkers. Now, if when you get into your fairway bunker, generally fairway bunkers are a little bit larger and a little bit flatter than normal greenside bunkers. So you don't have to take your sand wedge and splash it out. You could actually take a club that's a bit more risky but hits the ball further. So as long as when you assess the bunker shot, the leading edge and the lip isn't too high, you could consider using your hybrid club to play out of that bunker. So I'd look at my distance and I think, well, I've got 180 to go out of my bunker. The leading edge is quite low. I fair fancy my 5 hybrid here. Now, because the 5 hybrid has got a nice rounded sole, a lot of weight is low and deep within that sole. This club isn't designed to dig into the sand. So I actually want to try and play this ball quite clean and just nip it off the surface. So the way I would set up to this ball is playing it just slightly ahead of centre, not too far forwards in the centre, because then I might hit the ground behind it in a bunker. So I'd play it just ahead of centre. I'm actually going to advocate just gripping down ½ an inch here. That just stops the club from digging in too much and catching it heavy. I'm almost playing to sort of semi-thinness and take it clean off the surface. So I grip down ½ an inch. One last thing I'd do with my hybrid club playing from a fairway bunker is just increase my grip pressure. I'd grab it a little bit tighter. That way, if I was to hit the ground heavy and fat the ball a little bit, because I've got plenty of grip pressure, the club would keep moving through the sand, get to the golf ball and still fire it out a reasonable distance. So I would just anchor my feet in the sand a little bit, grip down a little bit, play it just ahead of centre with quite tight grip pressure, and a nice smooth balanced swing here to sort of semi-thin it. And I've played that really nice and clean off the surface. There was no big thump down into the floor there, because in a fairway bunker that would be a very heavy contact. And that's 3 really useful shots that you could use your utility clubs or your hybrid clubs to perfect and improve your scores.